For 45 years, heartbreak has plagued Falmouth. Since 1980, the Cape Cod crown has stayed just out of reach. And last season, the Commodores took a step backward.
2024 season comes to an end on a rainy night at Spillane Field as the Gatemen close it out and defeat the Commodores.
But this summer, everything changes. A new era begins at Fuller Field with a new voice in the dugout. 2013 World Series champion Jared Saltalamacchia is here to lead the charge.
Swinging a line, right base hit into left field. That's the ball game. The Red Sox have rallied to win game 2. They've won it. The Sox have won it 6-5. Jared Saltalamacchia with a walk-off base hit.
New leadership, new hunger, and one mission: bring Cape Cod glory back to Falmouth. So wherever you are, sit down and get ready. The doors are on the air. This is Falmouth Commodores Baseball, and it starts right now.
Game 19 of the Cape Cod Baseball League season brings us back to Game 19 of the Cape Cod Baseball League season brings us back to Veterans Field. First time the Commodores have played an opponent at their place twice this season. Falmouth takes on the Chatham Anglers here, and to open the door, alongside Ben Haller and Andrew Delapiana, I'm Ryan Martin, and Andrew, we'll start with you. It's a Commodores team that's won 7 of its last 9 games, a win last night against the Gatemen, but it was with some help from Wareham itself.
I think a little help is putting it nicely. 7 errors for the Gatemen. That's the most by a team in Cape Cod since 2014. Brewster had 8 against Falmouth about 11 years ago, and it was a really ugly game. And Falmouth, give them a lot of credit, taking full advantage of that. 15 hits, 11 runs scored. The offense really taking care of business and against a lot of mistakes made by the Wareham Gatemen last night.
An 11-4 win at home for the Commodores, so after 2 straight at home here at Chatham now, Ben, where we thought it could be the West Virginia right-hander Robbie Porco on the mound. How about instead it's a different Mountaineer righty, the first we'll see this season of Max Stifler.
Well, they're both guys who were part of a very talented West Virginia pitching staff this past season. And Stifler, someone who got a lot of experience in his freshman year, and the one number that stuck out to me, one of the best in Big 12 for qualified arms, hit a 147 batting average against. All the Big 12 relievers, Stifler was one of the best. Porco, obviously, very good season as well. So I'm excited to see Stifler get his first start and interested to see how long he can go, but he's someone I do not expect Chatham to tag really early.
It's going to be a Big 12 battle against the TCU righty and Caden Smith. They'll toe the bump for Chatham, and it's an Anglers team, Andrew, that's been up and down so far in 2025, but when this Chatham team is clicking, it's because of its offense.
Yeah, they have some phenomenal players down this lineup. You take a look at a guy like Henry Ford, who's going to Tennessee, even Daniel Jackson from Georgia, who's having a phenomenal season, but you really hit the nail on the head. The pitching has really struggled for this team. Worst ERA in the league right now, and that's been the big drill, especially out of the bullpen. So the offense feels like it's there every night for Chatham, but the pitching really needs to pick up.
Some big names to watch on this Anglers team, and a big matchup here for Game 19 of the season. It's Stifler versus Smith, Commodores versus Anglers. First pitch from Veterans Field coming up next at 7 p.m.
Game 19 of the Cape Cod Baseball League season brings us back to familiar territory, a place the Falmouth Commodores were here on opening day, picking up a 1-0 victory over the Chatham Anglers to start 2025. Just about half a month later, back here at Veterans Field alongside Ben Haller, I'm Andrew Del Piano, moments away from the Commodores and the Anglers. But as our pregame show rolls on, we send things down to the third member of our crew, Ryan Martin, who is joined by Trevor Baumler.
Thanks so much, Andrew. You're exactly right. Opening the door, we'll continue on here from Chatham, now joined by TCU right-hander and Trevor Baumler, fresh off his fourth appearance on the summer after yesterday's win against Wareham. Trevor, how you doing?
I've been feeling pretty good, coming off a couple days rest, and, I'm looking forward to, see what happens.
You've been feeling pretty good, also looking pretty good on the mound as well, including that appearance against the Gatemen yesterday. Still have yet to give up an earned run. You got 14 in a third innings pitch. That's the most by a Cape pitcher without an earned run. What's been working for you so far on the bump on Cape Cod?
I think just, commanding the zone, pounding it early, and, getting ahead against some of these great hitters. And, you want to make them it's the race to 2 strikes, so get to 2 strikes and, compete from there.
You've been competing with batters both as a starter and a reliever. You just made your second start after a couple of bullpen appearances. What is the conversations like with Todd Carroll, the pitching coach, Salts Lamakia, about where you can best get some innings in?
I think just, coming out of the bullpen, you learn how to, get hot very quick and deal with a little bit of adversity here and there. But, having the starting role, you have a little better routine and, just rolling into the games a little smoother.
You got one mode of pitching that you prefer?
Nothing much really. I think just, staying calm before the game and, just doing my best out there.
Starter or reliever, Trevor Baumler is here for it all with the Commodores. Andrew, back to you.
Thanks so much, Ryan. Funny enough, Caden Smith, Chatham starting pitcher, gets the baseball tonight. We'll see him on the bump in just a couple minutes. But first, we'll send things to a break before we get you back to Veterans Field for the second edition of Commodores and the Anglers after this. We welcome you into Veterans Field for the third edition of the Commodores and the Anglers. Right here from Veterans Field, the Falmouth Commodores taking the first 2 matchup between these 2 squads. Commodores been getting the victory last night over Wareham thanks to 7 errors by the Gatemen. It's been a long time since that last happened.
Yeah, it's a time right now where the Commodores, it feels like everything's going right. They're playing a lot better baseball than they were at the beginning of the season, and you're getting a little help from the opponent too. That's definitely what they got with Wareham. One of the more frustrating games for a team that has fallen all the way to the bottom of the barrel in not just the West Division, but in the Cape Cod in general. Falmouth up to that second place in the West Division as well with this nice little run. It's just been a stretch where it's going to be one of the more grueling stretches, one of the few stretches where you play 6 games in a row without a break. Starting back Tuesday, now on Sunday, it's the last game of that break. Falmouth has won 3 of those 5 games so far. They've only lost 1 of them, and it's really nice to see the Commodores playing better baseball.
Yeah, let's meet that starting lineup that first-year head coach Garrett Saltimacchia rolls out on this beautiful Sunday night. Starting with third baseman Carl Schmidt, followed by the right fielder Antonio Morales. Batting third is the shortstop Adrian Lopez. Batting cleanup the center fielder Mike Anu. In the 5 spot, Kent Schmidt, he'll DH. Batting 6th, the second baseman Justin Osterhaus. Batting 7th, the catcher Mark Quattrani. Batting 8th is the left fielder Ashton Wilson. And batting 9th, the first baseman number 26, Chris Newstrom. That lineup goes against the right-hander Caden Smith, who makes his first start of the summer tonight. His earned run average sits at 6 right now through 4 relief appearances, and the big staggering number for him entering this one, Ben. Opponents batting over 300 against him so far.
Yeah, he's got hit a decent amount so far, but he's also played some of the better opponents, and I think he's somebody that we'll see if he can settle in a little better in a starter's role. We talked about it with the Falmouth pitcher a couple days ago and Matthew Dallas, just about the differences between starting and pitching out of the bullpen against these talented lineups like you see on Cape Cod. And a lot of it's just some guys just pitch better with a routine. They know when they're pitching. It's no surprise at any point. So we'll see if that relief to starter role can change a little bit for Smith.
And that defense behind him for the Anglers. Left to right in the outfield, Ashton Larson, Henry Ford, Jackson Freeman. Left to right in the infield, Gavin Gallagher, Isaiah Lane, Ethan Mendoza, and Daniel Jackson, with Cade Arambidi doing the catching for Caden Smith. Finishing up the warm-up pitches here, and again, a beautiful Sunday night from Chatham, 75 degrees hit around first pitch. Let's also meet tonight's umpires as well. Down the third base line, Mickey Garcia. First base umpire, Austin Pressel, and calling the balls and strike is Mike Hinojosa.
Numbers in that same uniform on the front and back, same color as that dark red. The gray pants with the red and gray socks.
Carl Schmidt strides up to home plate. He has been phenomenal out of that leadoff spot, Ben. 5 games so far as the leadoff hitter for the Commodores, and he's led off every single one with a single.
Yeah, and he's been awesome. He got that first start in the leadoff spot right when we were back here at Veterans Field the first game of the year. And had a little hiatus without that spot.
He goes up the middle, and it's 6'4", 210 pounds, the rising junior from USC. 2-0, runner takes off, it's up the middle, and it gets through for a base hit. Into right center field, Morales on his horse to third. He's going to get held up at third by Jack O'Reilly, but now it's runners at the... And already an early meeting. Cade Arambidi, the catcher for the Anglers, out to speak with Caden Smith. Mike Anu has been absolutely lethal.
And it doesn't cool off, too. A 4-for-5 day with 4 singles after committing to Arkansas. Showed a lot of power. He's in now, showing he can hit for average as well. He's hitting .318 still on the year through 18 games.
Add that on with the 6 home runs, which is also the league lead. 1-0. Taking low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Quick little meeting there between Arambidi and Smith. All you want to do, though, is stay away from New. Likes to hammer that inner half of the zone and drive it out to left field. 2-0. Breaking ball is in there for a called strike.
Yeah, you can tell New wasn't a huge fan of that call, but
it's Austin Presell down the first baseline, Mickey Garcia down the third baseline.
Morales stands at third, Lopez at second. 1 gone in the top of the first, no score. 2-1. Ball, New spoils it back out of play. And this is something that Caden Smith was very impressive with this past season with the Horned Frogs. Stranded 8 of 14 inherited runners out of the bullpen. And of course, these runners not inherited because they are his responsibility. But still, 2 runners in scoring position.
well, he was someone at TU where his role actually at the beginning of the year was to be a reliever first few starts behind Trevor Baumler to be that Sunday guy. TCU wanted to go with a couple of freshmen to start that year, so there will be a lot of games this year where Baumler and him both pitched.
2-2, taken way up and away.
Of course, we talked to Baumler. Our third member of our crew, Ryan Martin, did before the game.
Full count. Morales at third. Lopez at second. Still one gone, top one. No score between the Commodores and the Anglers. Micah New, second most RBI, going to add to that total. The payoff pitch. New off the end of the bat, foul back behind home plate once again. New already building off a tremendous season where he is draft eligible, so he does have that choice if he wants to go to Fayetteville or if he is selected in the draft in the coming days. Another 3-2. Inside, nearly hit him, and it's ball 4.
He's showing he's big league ready with a big league at bat right there. Seen that a lot from him.
Bases are loaded for the lefty Kent Schmidt, who is really starting to turn the corner. The rising junior from Georgia Tech. Has 4 RBIs in his last 5 games. 11 total on the season. That's jumped him up top 5 on the Cape Cod. A little bit of a jam here for Caden Smith. His first offering to the lefty is powered fouled on the third base side and out.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a top 6 in the lineup, really. If you go from Schmidt all the way down to Osterhaus, that are getting consistent playing time, and all, it's hard to find one of those to say which one is the coldest right now. I mean, a couple of them are really hot, and Mike Canoe and Ken Schmidt's turning it around, Adrian Lopez as well. There's just no holes.
Hill 1. Up and inside for ball 1. Bases are loaded. Smith toes the rubber on the first base side of the bump. Corners are in for the Anglers. Middle infield looking to turn 2. Smith turns and fires. It's a breaking ball way out.
Well, I think Schmidt and all the other lefties in this Falmouth lineup are happy to see what feels like the first time in forever a righty starting pitcher against Falmouth.
A handful of consecutive lefties, if you will, they've faced in the last handful of days. 2-1 on the way. Fastball up and in once more. Hitters count for Kent Schmidt. 3 balls, 1 strike. Bases loaded. Still just 1 gone in the top of the first inning. Falmouth and Chatham scoreless. Schmidt, a wait. Fastball, it's outside for ball 4. He missed high in the zone, and that walks in a run. An RBI walk for Kent Schmidt. He'll proudly take that. And the Commodores take a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first. And that is already going to warrant a mound visit for Chatham.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, when pitchers struggle like this is the kind of seesaw you see. We talked about hitters batting 300 against him on the season. And then a lot of times you throw 6 1/3 innings with getting hit that hard. It's tough to want to throw the ball into the zone again. And even in situations like this, you just get subconscious about, extra bases getting a few runs. Extra bases getting a few runs in to put it in the zone.
Jay Powell, the pitching coach, out there.
To put it in the zone.
Jay Powell, the pitching coach, out there for the Anglers. His first full years in Major League Baseball. That meeting is over. Home plate is cleaned off by Mike Hinojosa, and we'll get back to action. 1-0 Commodores in the top of the first. Bases loaded. And it remains loaded for the lefty Justin Osterhaus. First offering, ball inside for ball 1.
Osterhaus, someone too that I've just been impressed with his average 286. The contact numbers have been great for him so far. Even missing a couple of games in the middle of the
1-0. Taken just outside for ball 2. Just missed that outer third of the zone. Osterhaus RBI night last night in that 2 for 5 effort. Also came around to score twice. You got to talk to him after the game. Said that triple he had was also pretty nice to have as well. 2-0. Breaking ball dropped in beautifully by Smith. 2 balls, 1 strike. Bases remain loaded. Corners even at the bag.
2-1 on the left-handed hitter.
2-1 count. Smith turns and fires. Breaking ball. Osterhouse way out in front.
Yeah, these are the kind of pitches that maybe just give Smith a little bit of confidence, get down to the zone and getting Osterhouse to chase. Give it at least a chance in the zone.
Osterhouse coming off a season where he had 16 home runs, over 50 RBIs for Purdue Fort Wayne. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Fooled him on the changeup, only in at 79 miles per hour. And a big first strikeout for Camden Smith. There's 2 gone.
Now batting for Falmouth, the catcher from Notre Dame, number 20, Mark.
Sometimes just settle in for Caden Smith. I mean, the last thing you want, the run's already in. I mean, your hope is that you can still give 4 or 5 innings. And sometimes when you let that one run get in your head and snowball into more in the first inning, that
First pitch. Fastball taken right on the inner third for a called strike. First game since Wednesday for the newest edition of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Quattrani picked up his first double this season in that 9-9 tie against YD. This is 0-1. Breaking ball, beautifully looking, dropping in there for strike 2.
tell the more confidence Smith has gotten in this inning, the quicker he's worked as well coming home. 0-2 count. Quattrani takes his time getting back in.
0-2 the count. Likes the sign from Aaron Beatty. Kicks and deals. High arching breaking ball way out. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And it's all been rough for Smith. I mean, it's not just how hard he's getting hit. He's only struck out 5. That's yarn all right.
Did get 14 appearances this past season. Did go scoreless in 8 of those 14. The 1-2. Breaking ball spoiled to the right side by Quattrani. We'll see it again. And this Falmouth lineup is battling nice and early. Really building up that pitch count early enough.
What I've been most impressed about is their ability to do it in the first innings as well. Not even let the pitcher settle in. It's a talented top of the lineup that gets at it.
Another 1-2. Breaking ball. 1. Falmouth 1. Chatham nothing. Righty on righty. Pitch number 30 of the inning for Smith. Here it is. It's a fastball and it hits Quattrani. Drills him on the left elbow. And another run will come at a score for Falmouth. It's 2-0 Commodores.
If you're Chatham and you're Smith, because you feel like you've settled in so much after a tough first 5 batters, and just one pitch that gets away from you. And there's going to be a conversation between the 3 umpires about if anyone saw him lean into this.
The left fielder from the University of Florida, number 9, Ashton.
Tapping just in front of the pitcher's mound. And that call will be upheld on the hit by pitch by Mark Quattrani. That play stands as originally called. And here comes the 8th hitter in the inning for Falmouth already. Bases still loaded for the Commodores, leading 2-0. Another righty in the lineup, Ashton Wilson, one of the newest additions for the Commodores. Rising senior from the University of Florida. First pitch. Take all the way from Wilson. It's a called strike right down the heart of the plate.
No better way to give a new guy in the league more confidence than to get some sort of base hit at a big spot like this. Wilson hasn't had a ton of them. Still looking for his first RBI on the year, but he had 2 base hits yesterday.
Both out to right field as well. The 0-1, breaking ball, nice looking one. It's a strike. Started in at Wilson. He turned away, thought he was going to get hit. Either way, no balls, 2 strikes to Wilson in his 3rd appearance of the summer. The 0-2. Breaking ball once more, a call. 3rd strike. Right on the outer 3rd as Wilson goes down on 3 pitches. But the Commodores set the tone early, get 2 across. They do so thanks to just 2 hits No errors, but 3 left on base with the bases loaded. 2-0 Commodores. We're just getting started here at Veterans Field. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, my name is Matt Burgess, General Manager here at Falmouth Country Club. We have a unique 27-hole public golf course with a beautiful layout that is family-oriented. Kids play free here at Falmouth Country Club. Getting on the course is quick and easy with our app. You can book tee times, get yardages with GPS, use our interactive scorecard, track your stats, and receive exclusive in-app offers. Falmouth Country Club is a true Cape Cod classic and a local family favorite.
See you on the course.
You'll always be safe at home with the Diana Lucevero Group at Compass Real Estate.
I'm Trevor Baumler, right-handed pitcher from TCU, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
Commodores off to a hot start, leading 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the first back here from Veterans Field. Alongside Ben Haller, I'm Andrew Del Piano. Let's meet that Chatham lineup that will go against Max Stifler. Henry Ford, the center fielder, leads off, followed by Gavin Gallagher. He'll play third base. In the third spot, the second baseman, Ethan Mendoza. Batting in the cleanup spot, the right fielder, Jackson Freeman. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Daniel Jackson. Batting sixth, the DH, Chase Freilich. In the seventh spot, the left fielder, Ashton Larson. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Isaiah Lane. And rounding out the order, catching, is Cade Karambidi. They go up against Max Stifler, who makes his first appearance, recently finishing up his freshman season in Morgantown, West Virginia for the Mountaineers. 15 appearances, 2 starts, but the number you were really harping on, Ben, was that batting average against. He was stellar.
Yeah, 147. I mean, it was just ridiculous. And a lot of times you see that it's like someone who's had 6 appearances on the year maybe and just doesn't have a high sample size. But look, this is somebody who just did not get hit. And he had some issues with command, 20 walks to 20 strikeouts on the year. But yeah, hitters hit less than 140 against him. The best outing for him. He was stellar against LSU, the national champions this year. He pitched in that super regional. And just somebody who's pitched in big moments, and I think it's going to be another nice addition for this Falmouth Commodores pitching staff that just keeps getting better.
Henry Ford, the leadoff man for the Anglers, looks at a ball inside, kind of dancing around the early parts of the season between 3 and 4. The total average, 268. 2-0 from Stifler. Is a fastball slider outside. The defense behind him, from left to right in the outfield, Ashton Wilson, Mike Anu, Antonio Morales. In the infield, left to right, Carl Schmidt, Adrian Lopez, Justin Osterhaus, Chris Newstrom. 3-0. Fastball take all the way. It's a called strike at the knees. Mark Catrani doing the catching tonight for Stifler.
A lot of times you're a pitcher, there's 2 different kind of routes you can have when it comes to, before you throw your first pitch, having a 2-run lead. A lot of guys, it just gives them confidence, lets them settle in.
3-1, also taken for a called strike.
Other times, though, when you have that lead, you kind of get tense and feel like you have to work around the zone. Don't want to get it hit very hard, but when you have an early lead, just throw the ball down the zone.
Payoff pitch. Ford skies it into center field, shallow center field, where Lopez calls him off. Now racing in is New, and he hauls it in for out number 1. One gone in the bottom of the first. Commodores struck twice in the top half of the inning. And neither of those RBIs, Ben, were hits. One was a hit by pitch and one was a walk. Second man in the Chatham lineup. It's Gavin Gallagher, the rising junior from North Carolina. First pitch. Breaking ball is just inside for ball 1. Stifler is 0-2. Breaking ball on the ground to the third base side. Corralled by Schmidt on one hop. He'll vacuum up, fire across, and it's in and out of the glove of Chris Newstrom. Gallagher is going to reach safely. tough stretch down the first base line towards home plate by Chris Newstrom, who makes his first start at that position today. It's going to go down as an error.
Yeah, that's an interesting ruling. I wasn't sure what they were going to call. There's sort of a bar in our way too here, at just where the seating is above the home plate platform. So it was kind of tough to see over at first base, but Carl Schmidt might have taken an extra second or two with it as well. Might have played a factor.
Either way, here's the righty Ethan Mendoza. First pitch is a called strike. That's going to go against Carl Schmidt, the third baseman, for that error. As that throw took him off the bag just a little bit. Mendoza, he's known for his defense with the glove. 0-1, gets away from Quattrani all the way to the backstop. Allows Gallagher to scamper up to second. Goes down as a wild pitch against Max Stifler. But for Mendoza, was part of the SEC all-defensive team this past season. One of 4 Longhorns to earn a spot on that list. So Gallagher up to second after the wild pitch. 1 gone in the bottom of the first. 2-0 Commodores. The 1-1. Fastball up and in. Ducked out of the way by Mendoza.
Well, again, it's the story we talked about the first 2 times Falmouth played Chatham, but it's a lineup that just top to bottom has gotten so much talent here to Veterans Field, and a lot of struggles with the pitching staff.
Pickoff move to second. Lopez is there covering, but it's not in time. He has to take him off the bag just a little bit. For Mendoza this season, he's been really solid in 18 games, batting just under 300. Tied for 5th in the league with 20 hits. Takes a look down for the pitch before agreeing with Quattrani. Short lead off a second for Gallagher. 2-1 is sent over the screen behind home plate and ends up in the parking lot. Mendoza was also phenomenal with the Longhorns. Led the team in average hits, multi-hit, transfer from Arizona State. Pitch is fouled off a home plate. Even got a piece of the left foot of Mendoza.
Yeah, now Mendoza's starting to put together a pretty nice at-bat. We talked about just how inefficient that first inning was for Smith. Obviously, it's just the third batter, but Stifler's already thrown 15 pitches so far.
Stifler a long look in before the 2-2. Here it is. Fastball popped up over the screen and out of play once more. Already been a lot of those here in this first inning. A lot of fans scattered throughout the ballpark here at Veterans Field. That always draws fantastic attendance. A large group of bleachers behind home plate as well as a nice view for us just behind home plate. Pitch number 7 between Stifler and Mendoza, but time called at home plate.
Mendoza dropped his wrist guard of some sort.
One of those things they carry around nowadays. It's a whole lot of equipment in their back pocket.
Yeah, it looks like they wear more pads than football and hockey players.
Another 2-2 from Stifler. Breaking ball, Mendoza ropes it into left field, drops in for a base hit. Gonna get all the way to the wall. 1 run will come in. The relay through to second is there and in time. Good throw by Ashton Wilson to cut down Mendoza at second, but the run still comes in to score, and the Anglers have cut the lead in half. It's 2-1 Falmouth in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, it's a big base hit. I'm not sure if I love the idea from Mendoza, though. That's so big for Stifler. You feel like you're in a tough spot, giving up 1 run and the game-tying runs scoring position. It's a huge break to get that run at second. Awesome throw in left field from one of the newest Commodores, and Ashton Wilson, too.
That is the second out. Base is empty. 2-1 Commodores, bottom 1. Jackson Freeman from the left side. First pitch is up and out. And as you said, one of the most dangerous hitters right now in the league after Cape Cod Player of the Week. rising junior from Northwestern. The 1-0 inside, gets away from Cutrani. And you just take a look at the numbers for Freeman. They were off the charts right now. 21 hits, 4th in the league in average at .350. Gets on over 43% of the time. 6 doubles as well. 2-0, fouled back. And like you said right at the top, similar to Mike Anu, where weren't a lot of rumors about him being a quote-unquote star this season, but has really made his mark.
It has been very different. It's not as close as you think in terms of guys who were producing at their schools producing this summer.
2-1 jumps out of the glove of Cutrani once more. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. That pitch was high anyways.
But it can be as important in guys doing things like raising their draft stock as having a nice school season is.
Freeman not draft eligible till next year, but still to improve it. 3-1. Fastball launched to first base, but caught by Newstrom. That was a hard hit ball off the bat, 103 miles per hour, but Newstrom on his first day at first base says that's no problem. Anglers get one across though, thanks to the 1 run, the 1 hit, 1 error, and none left on base. We are through 1 here from Veterans Field. Commodores in front 2-1. We'll be right back after these messages on Cape League TV.
On behalf of the Cape Cod Baseball League, we would like to thank the following league partners for their continued support: 99 Restaurants, Badger Sports, the Baldwin Group, Bluebird Dennisport, Bridgewater State University, Cape Destinations. And of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
Authentic Cape Cod dining is right down the road at Jim's Clam Shack. Open seasonally for over 50 years, Jim's Clam Shack features oceanfront views with all of the lobster, shrimp, burgers, and clams you could ask for. Stop by Jim's Clam Shack, located at 227 Quinton Avenue right here in Falmouth, to hit your next meal out of the park. That's Jim's Clam Shack at 227 Quinton Avenue, Falmouth.
I'm Ben Royo, shortstop from Texas A&M University, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
Welcome back to Chatham, Massachusetts. Commodores in front 2-1 over the Anglers as we begin the top of the second. Beautiful night here in Chatham. Sun setting just to the left of us, down the left field line, behind the scoreboard, behind the trees. Now the entire field is covered in shadows. Maybe a shade over in right. A little bit open there for Jackson Freeman, who just ended that last half inning with a line out to first. 9-1-2 due up for Falmouth. Facing the righty Camden Smith once more. He found himself in a little bit of a jam in that first inning. Gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, and also brought in 2 runs via a walk and a hit by pitch as well.
Yeah, it was the first inning where you saw him settle in even with that RBI hit by pitch later in the inning, and I think we can take that confidence into this inning.
First pitch to Newstrom is a breaking ball up and out for ball 1. Newstrom definitely improving as the summer goes on. That discipline's been a huge factor. He's got up to 12 walks. That's 7th on Cape Cod. 1-0. Fastball sent up the middle, and it is through for a base hit. Oh no, a jumping effort there by the second baseman Mendoza, but way late. That ball really slowed down off the end of the bat. Thought it was going to get through to center field, but a nice play either way by Mendoza.
Well, it almost took an awkward hop off the bag. If it did, it had no chance. Still a really good effort from Mendoza. That's why he's that SEC All-Defensive Team member. But Newstrom, someone who's got a lot of speed, didn't have a chance.
Back to the top of the lineup for Carl Schmidt. Corners in for the Anglers. First offering, inside, and it gets away from Aaron Beatty. Easy 90 feet for Chris Newstrom on the wild pitch.
Yeah, Falmouth's done a good job taking advantage of these kinds of situations where you don't really earn second base there after the base hit, but you'll take it any way you can, and that's where they've started to hit better and runners in scoring position.
1-0 the count to Carl Schmidt after the leadoff single by Newstrom. He gets to second on the wild pitch. Smith steps off, check over at second. A high arching throw to his second baseman, Mendoza. Not much of an effort on that one. Schmidt started this ball game with a ground out to short after 5 consecutive games with a leadoff single. 1-0. Breaking ball, check swing by Schmidt, did not go around. It's a breaking ball blocked in the dirt by Aaron Beatty for ball 2.
Yeah, it's been one of those guys too that we were talking about. Has just been so hot. And it's situational hitting too. He's someone that scored a lot because of his ability to get on base and then steals some bases. He's got a couple swiped bags in the last few games as well.
Smith takes a look at second and checks over there. Pickoff move is in time. They got Newstrom. Newstrom was dancing around close to the bag, couple steps off, got a little bit too greedy. And it's 1-4 on the putout for route number 1.
Yeah, those are just some mistakes you can't make, and that's one Newstrom, just a brain fart. I mean, he saw him looking at him before he took a step towards third base.
Still 2-0, the pitch to Schmidt is a called strike. Top 2, Commodores leading 2-1. One gone with a 2-1 count to Schmidt after the pickoff against Newstrom at second. 2-1, breaking ball, not even close as it bounced even before home plate.
And this is a game that, again, like last time, feels like we're going to see a lot of runs between these two teams. So those are the kinds of mistakes that you can't have.
Hitters count for Schmidt. The pitch. Fastball, high chopper to the shortstop. Isaiah Lane fumbles it for a moment and decides to put it in his back pocket. He went at that baseball full speed and just lost it under his glove.
Yeah, again, I think that might go as an error, but it's just one of those plays, a lot like what we saw in the first inning, where it's tough for a shortstop to make that play going to his left. Had such a weird hop at the end. This will be ruled an error by Lane.
One for either side already. One out with a runner on first. Here's the lefty Antonio Morales. Check out first, gets away. Schmidt's going to run up to second as that ball is into the outfield, picked up by Jackson. On his horse to third, he is out! Oh, what a throw from Jackson across the diamond. And he catches Schmidt trying to get an extra base.
Andrew, we've seen, what, 8 outs in this game now? And this has been one of the weirdest first inning and a half I've really ever seen. We've had a pickoff, we've had someone thrown out at second trying to stretch a single into a double. We've had 3 errors already. We've had someone out trying to stretch or try to go first to third on an error on a pickoff move that won't actually go as an error now that there was no advantage gained.
Called strike to Antonio Morales on the first pitch of the at-bat. I mean, watching last night's game between the Gatemen and the Commodores, 7 errors for Wareham. That was a whole lot. 0-1, breaking ball, chopped up the middle in fair territory, corralled by the pitcher Smith, and he throws, and it is off the bag. He's safe. Some good speed by Morales, and it pulled Jackson off the bag.
In the last 10 innings, this one's going to be ruled as a base hit, I think. But that's another borderline one of those plays. We've already had 2 errors in this game, 7 errors for Wareham they made against Falmouth. So 9 opponents have made 9 errors against Falmouth in the last 11 innings of baseball. Still awaiting the ruling on this exact play. There's a meeting between the umpires. Could be called back potentially.
So that throw pulled Jackson off the bag. There was a short chopper in front of Smith. And the call on the field is going to stand. Not sure what that discussion what that was about. Either way, it goes down as an infield single for Antonio Morales. Dugan tops second. Commodores 2, Anglers 1. And now Dennis Cook, the Chatham manager, out for a quick word with home plate umpire and Mike Hinosino. That was a brief meeting between those two. He heads back to home plate to call the balls and strikes.
Still, just combined in this game, 3 errors and 3 runners thrown out on the base paths. And we are almost to the middle of the second.
Smith back on the rubber to face Adrian Lopez from the right side. First offering, swing and a miss. Blew the fastball right by him at 90 miles per hour. Morales the runner on first with 2 outs. Lopez with his right foot all the way back in the righty's batter's box. The 0-1, runner takes off, it's a ball high. Throw down to second, in time, and they got him. What a throw by Aaron Beatty. No chance on the stolen base by Antonio Morales. And that does it for a wacky top of the second inning.
All throws on the base paths in that inning for the Commodores. That is one of the more unheard of innings. All 3 batters reached, but all 3 of them out on the base paths as Adrian Lopez will come up again in the third.
We are through 1.5. We'll be right back on Cape League TV. Commodores in front of the Anglers 2-1.
On behalf of the Cape Cod Baseball League, we would like to thank the following league partners for their continued support: Cape Space, Cape Cod 5, Cisco Brewers, Cape Cod Healthcare, Hampton Inn, Franklin Sports, Highline Cruises, Jersey Mike's, and of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
For investment property, it's critical you keep it secure and protected. Since 1989, our friends at Northeast Insurance Solutions have been the trusted insurance agency to serve the Commonwealth. Visit them on the web at insurewithnortheast.com or at their offices, 100 Ledgewood Place in Rockland.
I'm Bear Harrison, catcher from Texas A&M College, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
Bottom second here from Chatham. The Commodores leading 2-1 over the Anglers. Back alongside Ben Haller, I'm Andrew Del Piano. Beautiful night here in Chatham. Sun completely behind the trees in left field. The entire field covered in shade as Max Stifler back out there for his second inning. The Falmouth starter allowed 1 run, 1 hit, and just the 1 error in the first inning of work. And what's already been a pretty wacky one, Ben. 2 errors for Chatham, 1 for Falmouth.
3 errors made total between these 2 teams. 4 outs made on the base paths as well. 3 of those coming for Falmouth last inning, or in the top half of this inning. And it really feel like if there's a game where you see it all in just 9 outs, it feels like this is the game.
No doubt about it. Gateman committed 7 errors against the Commodores last night. That was the most in the game since 2014 when Brewster had 8 in a game against Falmouth. Alrighty, Daniel Jackson leads things off for the Anglers. The rising junior from Georgia. First pitch from Stifler as a fastball over Quattroni's head and gets to the backstop. Jackson has been phenomenal so far in 16 games for the Anglers. 2nd in on-base percentage, 3rd in OPS, 6th in slugging. And really that only bugaboo has been the 22 strikeouts, 2nd on the Cape. 1-0, fastball, it's a called strike right down Main Street.
Well, he's been someone that's swinging hard, and he's got a couple of home runs. I think that's one of the biggest things he wanted to showcase once he got to the Cape is that he could hit for power.
Stifler is 1-1. Breaking ball inside for ball 2. Jackson, this is his 2nd season in Chatham, just 4 games last summer. Batted south of the Mendoza line, 16 plate appearances. 2-1, fastball off the end of the bat, foul. He'll readjust his batting gloves before stepping back in.
this past year with the Bulldogs. He had 36 starts at 5 different positions. He's over at first base today. Been there a couple times so far this season. 2-2. Breaking ball fouled off his left foot at home plate. He's full of red and blue gear at home plate. He's got the left leg in the armband on the left side as well.
This is an Anglers team. I like their color scheme a lot. I like the red and blue. It feels very Dodger-esque when you look at the Chatham script behind home plate.
Another 2-2 on the way. Fastball is elevated deep to left field. If it is fair, it is gone, and it is just in front of the fence. Hops over for a ground rule double. Off the bat, that surely looked to be out of the ballpark, but it stops just in front, and it's just 2 bases for Daniel Jackson to lead off the second.
Yeah, it looked like in the swing like he got all of it. It just missed it. And still gave it a really good ride. It's one of those ones where Jackson was guessing on the pitch and was just ready for whatever he was thrown.
That was
fastball.
97 miles per hour off the bat. 362, just about 5 feet away from a homer. Leadoff man on for Chatham. Here's the lefty, Chase Freilich. First pitch is a fastball, jumps out of Quattroni's glove, and an easy 90 feet for Daniel Jackson.
Boy, it is hitting everyone right now, whatever it is in the air. That's one Quattroni definitely should have had in his glove.
Game-tying run just 90 feet away for Freilich. With the hand advantage, the 1-0 is popped up behind home plate. And foul.
They do call that a pitch, or a wild pitch on Stifler, though. I thought that was one where Quattroni should have had.
.216 average so far this season for Freilich after a first-team freshman All-American nod this past year with Auburn. 1-1 is a fastball popped up, slicing foul down the third base line and out. That pitch was right down the heart of the plate for Freilich and missed it. One-two. Fastball just above the letters for ball 2. Infield in for Falmouth, protecting this 2-1 lead. Nobody gone in the third on a wild pitch. 2-2. Breaking ball is jolted into left field. Wilson couple steps over, makes the grab, relays it towards home plate. It is not in time. A sac fly by Freilich, that does the trick. Daniel Jackson comes in to score, and it is a 2-2 ball game in the bottom of the second.
The left fielder from LSU, number 44, Ashton Larson.
Nice job by Freilich, just doing the job. Commodores are pleading that he left early at third base. But the appeal to third, they say he's left in time. That was a really good throw from Wilson, too, and left. I didn't think there was any chance he had to get him, no matter how good the throw was.
Base is empty for Ashton Larson in a tied 2-2 game. First offering is taken just above the letters for ball 1. Larson in left field tonight. Recently coming over from LSU, currently in the transfer portal after 2 seasons with the Tigers. 1-0. Fastball slapped the other way, drops into left field for a base hit. Couple of hops in front of Wilson, and he'll throw it back in the infield. 1-out single for Ashton Larson, and the third base hit given up by Max Stifler.
Yeah, Stifler's still trying to settle in. He's living a little too much over the zone right now. All these hits for Chatham, even going back to that sac fly just in that bat ago. Or fastballs in the top half.
And now Jared Soltomacchio, the manager for Falmouth, comes on, a lefty warming up in the bullpen. And he is coming, took the baseball out for Justin, and he is going to motion to the bullpen for a pitching change. 1 gone with a runner on first for the Anglers. Chatham has tied this ball game up. New pitcher coming on for the Commodores. We'll tell you who it is after a short break here on Cape League TV.
I'm Jacob Schultz, pitcher from Vanderbilt University, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
Jared Soltomakia makes his earliest call to the bullpen this season, and on is the left-hander Jacob Schultz, the rising sophomore from Vanderbilt. Hasn't pitched a whole lot this season, Ben, in just 4 appearances so far, 4 2/3. 4 walks to 7 strikeouts, has still yet to give up an earned run, but an early pull here from Soltomakia.
Yeah, the first thing this kind of tells me is just how serious this Falmouth team and coaching staff are about winning. I mean, it's a summer league. He's thrown 34 pitches. It is rare to see a starter get pulled that early in a summer league like this. Especially, he hasn't given up 6 runs. He's only given up 2. And he gives up a single right after giving up that second run. And Soltomakia does not want to give up this lead. This is a team that's serious about winning, trying to get 2 games over 500 for the first time this year.
We are in the bottom of the second, all tied at 2 apiece. Anglers even things up thanks to the sacrifice fly by Chase Fralick. Ashton Larson regains his spot at first base after that single that knocked out Stifler out of the ball game. Lefty on righty for Isaiah Lane, the shortstop tonight for the Anglers. First offering is a fastball taken inside for ball 1.
And it is a Chatham lineup that has a decent amount of lefties too, so you get the lefty on lefty advantage.
Scholl stands at the first base side of the bump. Here's 1-0. Fastball up and in for ball 2. Lane has to raise his hands up to avoid being hit. Gives a couple of taps to home plate, places his bat down, ready to dig in for the 2-0. Here's the pitch. Fastball inside, it's a 3-0 count.
I think it's going to be hands on deck today for Falmouth too. A lot of pitchers available now that they've gotten a lot in. The ratio on active roster from pitchers to hitters has gone a bit up in advantage of the pitchers than the beginning of the year as well.
3-0. Fastball taken inside for ball 4. So Schultz comes out of the bullpen, walks the first man he sees on 4 pitches. Runners at first and second for Chatham, still 1 gone, tied at 2 in the bottom of the second.
The catcher from LSU, number 20, Cade Arabidi.
That sets the table for the 9-hitter, the right-hander Cade Arabidi. Teammates with Ashton Larson at LSU, the rising sophomore. Another lefty on righty. First pitch. Breaking ball is in there for a strike. Only comes in at 75 miles per hour from Schultz. Just the 3rd game of the summer for Arabidi, who comes over after winning a national championship in his freshman season with the Tigers. Schultz is 1-0. Another breaking ball, same spot, same result for a called strike.
And I like this here too. This is a prime SEC matchup, LSU Vanderbilt, and a pretty big spot early in the game.
Good speed at second by Larson. He was a star outfielder for them. 0-2. Fastball inside. Tough take for Arabidi. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Got some scarce playing time this past year with the Tigers behind a loaded lineup in the catcher's room. 1-2. Another breaking ball, just missing the outer third. That one only comes in at 70 miles per hour. It's a high arc on it, Ben. Not as much break as we see from a guy like Caden Eschman, but still very effective. 2-2. Goes to the fastball, and it's launched to left field, down for a base hit. Larson gets the hold sign at third. It's station to station for the Anglers. And now Chatham has loaded them up with a chance to take its first lead.
Already seen a ton of base runners, and you see the struggles on the mound for Falmouth. It makes an inning like the top of the second a little more frustrating too if you're Falmouth and making all 3 outs on the base paths.
And this is where the Anglers really punish you with men in scoring position. 79 RBIs for Chatham entering this one. That is the most on Cape Cod. Back to the top of the lineup for the righty, Henry Ford. First offering. Breaking ball. It's a called strike. Bases are loaded. Larson at third, Lane at second, Aaron Beatty at first. Infield at double play depth. Schmidt, the third baseman, well behind the bag to protect any doubles down the line. 0-1 is a breaking ball once more, and it's outside into the other batter's box. Henry Ford is known for driving in a whole lot of runners. Top 5 in the league in that category. 1-1. Fastball and slap back to the screen, foul.
No, I talked about how last matchup I like the prime SEC Vanderbilt on LSU. How about this one?
This will be a new one.
Tennessee, yeah.
Ford headed to Knoxville. 2 seasons at Virginia. His head coach Brian O'Connor leaving for Mississippi State. 1-2 pitch, here it is. Sent foul, slicing down the first base line and out. Ford is from Charlottesville, but he went to the Baylor School in Tennessee, was heavily recruited by the Vols. And on his visit there, felt right, but couldn't really leave his hometown team. 1-2, spoiled back to the screen. Said it was one of the tougher decisions he's ever made. His mom was a huge influence in it as well. His father was a pitcher, also in Virginia at William and Mary. Bases loaded for Henry Ford. 1-2 count with 1 out. The pitch. Breaking ball just outside. Schultz was looking for that top right corner and couldn't get the call.
Yeah, you can tell just some of the differences between guys who have a good chance to get drafted this upcoming year and some of the more experienced guys, just the plate discipline. I mean, Ford, it's a couple pitches now. He's just let off. They're close.
2-2, fastball popped up and tailing out of play once more, first base side. A long at bat between Ford and Schultz. Pitch number 8 of the at bat between the left-hander on the bump and the righty at home plate. Ford, a long stare. Turns his bat over a couple times. Awaits the 2-2. Here it is. And fouls it down the third base line. They will do it again for pitch number 9. What does Schultz have in the bag here to try to get out of this bases loaded jam? Just 1 gone, bottom second. Falmouth and Chatham even at 2 apiece. Schultz a couple of waves over from Cutrani. Now likes the sign. Another 2-2 on the way. Breaking ball popped up, hooking foul out of play down the third base line. Schmidt gave it a look, but well out of his reach. That was the 5th foul ball of the at-bat.
Big league at-bat again for Ford.
His first in RBIs with 16, entering this plate appearances with the bases loaded. Another 2-2, fastball inside. A full count. A really tough take there from Henry Ford, especially how this at-bat is gone.
It's full now, and 11 pitches have been thrown, or 11 pitches coming up, and all 3 balls have been close.
The payoff pitch. Fastball is elevated into right center field. Knew a couple steps over to his left. Morales is there in the gap. He reels it in for out number 2. Runner Larson tags from third. He scores with ease. And a long at-bat for Henry Ford pays off. It's his 17th RBI of the summer, and it gives the Anglers a 3-2 advantage in the bottom of the second.
Just an unbelievably mature at-bat from Ford. Everywhere from fouling off the pitches off, leaving some of those pitches off, and then obviously just doing all he needs to do.
Lane advances to third on that sac fly as well from Ford. Second sacrifice fly of this frame as well. Freilich did it a little bit earlier before the pitching change. Runners at the corners, 2 gone. Anglers lead 3-2. Here's the righty Gavin Gallagher. First pitch, fastball, he swings right through it. 90 miles per hour for Schultz. 4 hits so far for the Anglers. 3 off of Stifler and 1 off of Schultz. 0-1. Another fastball, a called strike this time, and all Gallagher can do is watch it go right by.
Yeah, you can tell how much confidence Schultz has in that fastball. All of it's been around the corners for him so far. Even after giving up that high fly ball, trying to bounce back.
Righty warming up in the Commodores bullpen. Things might go awry once more. Schultz looking to prevent it. The 0-2 fastball is spoiled foul. Hits the netting just above the Commodores dugout on the first base line. Lane at third, Arambidi at first. Already 2 across in this frame for Chatham. Looking to add more. A 3-2 lead, bottom 2. An 0-2 count to Gallagher. Reached on an error his first time up. 0-2. Fastball is popped up and slicing out of play, first base side. I'm telling you, Ben, these Chatham hitters have not made it any easy on these Falmouth arms.
Well, 34 pitches in the start, not even getting out of the second for Falmouth starter Max Stifler, and now 25 pitches coming up for Schultz in relief. And still not out of the second.
He still has the favor in this count. No balls, 2 strikes. A long look in, checks the runners, kicks and deals. Fastball way out, gets over the head of Quattrani, and a run is going to come in to score. Isaiah Lane, third base. It's a wild pitch on an 0-2 count with 2 outs for Schultz, and the inning continues. Anglers lead 4-2 in the bottom of the second.
That is Leif Palmer in the bullpen for Falmouth. And again, just some of the frustrating aspects too. An 0-2 count, and that's some of the negatives. A lot of times an 0-2 count, kind of a throwaway pitch. But you got to be careful with runners on second and third, or first and third. That's just something you can't do.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner on second for Gallagher. The pitch, swing and a miss. Chase the fastball up and away. But either way, Chatham puts up a 3 spot in the bottom of the second to take a 4-2 lead into the top of the third. We'll be right back after this on Cape League TV.
On behalf of the Cape Cod Baseball League, we would like to thank the following league partners for their continued support: Cape Space, Cape Cod 5, Cisco Brewers, Cape Cod Healthcare, Hampton Inn, Welcome back to Veterans Field in Chatham, Massachusetts. The Anglers now up 4-2 over the Falmouth Commodores entering the 3rd inning. Welcome back on Cape League TV. I'm the 3rd member of your crew, sideline reporter Ryan Martin. And you blink and it's already past July 4th. The month of July means that July 19th, the 2025 Cape League All-Star Game will be here before you know it. So who are some Falmouth Commodores to watch out and be selected for that game? Well, we'll find out in about a week, but 3 names to watch out for include 2 playing today. How about the newest Arkansas Razorback and center fielder Micah New? The Cape League's leader with 6 home runs, also leads the league in slugging percentage, 2nd in runs scored and RBI. He could be at Red Wilson Field on July 19th. Might be joined as well by his outfield teammate, right fielder Antonio Morales, has had a great season for Falmouth, a .254 average. He's also 6th in the league with runs scored. And guys, how about the pitcher we saw start the game yesterday for Falmouth, and TCU right-hander Trevor Ballmore? Yeah, look at what Ballmore's got, over 14 innings pitched, still hasn't given up a run, Andrew.
Yeah, Micah New will bat second to start the 3rd inning. Thanks so much for that, Ryan. Last year, that All-Star game was in Falmouth. Was a ton of fun to be a part of, I'm assuming, my friend, as you were at that event. Top of the 3rd, Chatham in front 4-2. Caden Smith back out there for another inning on the job. The first pitch is a slider, low and away for ball 1.
This is kind of feels like business as usual almost for Falmouth. You look at this last week, where there's just been so much run production the first couple of innings. They've taken some leads that they've squandered. They've been down and come back.
1-0 is lofted into right field, shallow right field. Freeman runs in, calls off his second baseman Mendoza. Hat falls off in the process as he makes the catch for out number 1.
But again, I mean, their biggest comeback of the year still when they were down 5-1 against the East Chatham Anglers. Last time they played ended up getting the 9-7 win.
And in large part to this guy, Micah New from the right side. Commodores were down 5-1 in that ball game. New hits a 3-run shot, a jolt of energy right back in the ball game. One of his 6 home runs on the season. First pitch from Smith is a fastball that New elevates into center, and it drops in for a base hit. A base hit for Mike Anu with one gone in the third. He's reached both times in this ballgame.
I mean, he's swinging with just so much confidence, doing it early in counts, doing it late in counts. That time, just see the second pitch of the at-bat and ambushing it.
So he wastes no time with a one-out single. Here's the lefty Kent Schmidt, who got an RBI his first time up thanks to a walk. First pitch from the righty is a fastball taken inside, gets away from Aaron Beatty for just a moment, but he regathers and fires back to his pitcher. Knew the runner on first, top 10 in the league in stolen bases, so plenty of speed over there. 1-0. Fouled on the first base side. A jam shot from Schmidt. He kind of turned on it too quickly. Infield shaded a little bit more to the right side. Schmidt is a pull hitter. Chatham has already turned 17 double plays this summer. 1-1. New takes off a breaking ball for a called strike throw. Bouncer in the dirt, and it's a stolen base for Mike Anu, as a one-hopper does not get to Isaiah Lane in time.
Saw that yesterday from him as well, where he just didn't even have that great of a lead on that pitch. There wasn't a great jump from him, but he's got so much speed. We were having that discussion earlier today about who's the fastest guy on this Falmouth team, pound for pound. He's one that was brought up multiple times.
2-1. Breaking ball. Schmidt launches towards left field. Larson a couple steps to his left, but he dropped the ball. New is going to take off for third. The throw to that bag is not in time. Oh my, complete misread by Ashton Larson. And there's runners at the corners for the Commodores.
My goodness, I mean, Caden Smith has struggled. He's gotten some breaks with some outs on the base paths, and he's also had his defense make 3 errors at this point too. I mean, it is just everything, one of the most wild starts so far for Caden Smith through 2 1/3.
First pitch to Osterhaus taken above the zone for ball 1. That is error number 3 against the Anglers on the E7 by Ashton Larson. New gets up to third. Schmidt stands at first. And Osterhaus stands at home plate awaiting the 1-1. Excuse me, the 1-0. It's taken outside for ball 2.
Nonetheless, a big spot for Osterhaus, who had 3 RBIs. He might be that piece that kind of completes the puzzle. You see him miss a couple games when guys like Adrian Lopez and Ken Schmidt were starting to catch fire. Once they inserted him, and they got all 6 of these first 6, from Carl Schmidt down to Justin Osterhaus, that's about as complete of a top 6 in the lineup you're going to get.
And hitting behind those guys gives you a lot of RBI chances as well. 2-0. Breaking ball in there for a called strike.
Well, I mean, you talked about how I talked to him after the game in a post-game interview, and I asked him about hitting behind all those guys. He just said the one word he had is fun. I mean, it's just fun to go out there. Got a lot of guys on base.
2-1 breaking ball fouled off his right foot, ends up in the Falmouth dugout.
Now, Andrew, I don't know if it'd be as fun for you, though, because, or me, of course, because I don't know if we'd have the results that Osterhaus has at the plate.
I don't think so. We'd go up there, take 3 hacks, go right back to the dugout.
I think Justin Osterhaus, if we switch positions, would be talking bad about us and our numbers with runners in scoring position.
He's got a runner on third, trying to make this a 1-run game. 2-2. Fastball taken outside for ball 3. New at third, Schmidt on first. 1 gone in the top of the third. Chatham leads 4-2 over Falmouth after the Anglers put up 3 in the bottom half of the second. Smith waves off a couple of nods from Aaron Beatty. The payoff pitch. Breaking ball, Osterhaus ropes it into right center field, forward over, sticks up his glove, makes the play, but the run comes in to score. It's the 4th RBI in 2 days for Justin Osterhaus, and we are back to a 1-run game. Anglers 4, Commodores 3 in the top of the third.
Yeah, that dropped ball in left field by Larson is really going to haunt Chatham. I mean, it's just so many mistakes for both teams. that haven't come either at the plate or on the mound. And this is Falmouth now out hitting Chatham 5-4.
2 gone for the righty Mark Quattroni. First offering is a fastball that smoked the other way into right field. A slicing ball drops in, a fair ball. Gonna roll all the way to the wall. Schmidt on his horse to third. He'll get the stop sign. It's a 2-out double for Mark Quattroni. And the Commodores potentially can either tie the game or take the lead with Ashton Wilson coming up.
Yeah, beautiful piece of hitting right down the right field line, but that was also played really well by Jackson Freeman in right. He was shaded towards the right field line. He got a really good beat on that initially, and with 2 outs, to save a run from coming in, it's huge.
So Wilson from the right side, a chance to make his mark early on in just his 3rd game with the Commodores. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Commodores trailing by 1 in the top of the inning.
And now his second chance with 2 runners in scoring position. It's 2 at-bats now with 4 total runners in scoring position.
Pitch, breaking ball. Wilson takes it for a called strike on the inner third.
I'm no math major, but I don't think he can have any more than that.
No, you cannot. A combined 7 runs so far, 10 hits, and 4 errors. Righty on righty. The 0-1. Curveball, swing and a miss from Wilson. He was way out in front of it on the 82-mile-per-hour breaking ball from the TCU Horned Frog. Wilson had 19 RBIs this past spring with the Gators. Made an appearance in 40 games. The 0-2. Check swing on the breaking ball. Did he go around? Yes, he did, said first base umpire Austin Presley, and that does it for the top of the 3rd. It's just the 1 run for the Commodores off of 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base, both in scoring position for Falmouth. Anglers in front 4-3 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. We'll be right back on Cape League TV. Stay with us.
On behalf of the Cape Cod Baseball League, we would like to thank the following league partners for their continued support: Veolia North America, Wilson Sporting Goods, Yawkey Foundation, Netting Pros, Falmouth Publishing Company, Butler Sporting Goods, Sports Picks, Margaritaville Resort Cape Cod, Sunderland Printing, Del Mar Vacation Rentals, and of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
Chatham, Anglers in front of the Commodores 4-3. Thanks for sticking with us on a picturesque night here at Veterans Field. I already saw a bunch of cameras come out with a sunset behind center field, the American flag blowing out towards right as well. New pitcher on for Falmouth. It's their 3rd, and it's the Cape debut for the rising junior from Oregon State, currently in the transfer portal, Leif Palmer. The right-hander stands at 6'6", 210 pounds. A key piece of the bullpen this season, Ben. He went 31 innings of work, 18 appearances, and really did a good job of getting the Beavers deep into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, when it comes to guys here on the Cape that have really good school seasons, it doesn't get much better than Leif Palmer and what he did at Oregon State a season ago. I mean, the biggest thing for me, too, with him was the improvement from his freshman to his sophomore season was just frankly ridiculous. 14.29 ERA in his freshman year in 24, 2.03 this past season.
That's a pretty big jump, I'd say.
A little bit, yeah.
He was phenomenal for Oregon State this season. We'll be looking for a new home in the fall. Set to face the meat and potatoes of the Anglers lineup, 3-4-5, starting with the righty Ethan Mendoza. Palmer's first pitch on the Cape is taken low for ball 1. Mendoza an RBI single his first time around, his 13th of the summer. That jolts him into that top 3 spot in the league. Palmer is 1-1. It's going to be 1-0 as a called strike. One. Fouled back. As we mentioned at the top of this inning, the third Commodore out there. Closing the book on Stifler and Schultz in that last inning. Just 1 1/3 for Stifler. 3 hits allowed, 3 earned runs for Schultz. Just 2 outs recorded, 1 earned run.
Wow, when these two teams met just a week ago, we saw a total of 12 arms, 6 on each side.
1-2, Mendoza grounded to the right side, corralled by Osterhaus. Easy play, and the leadoff man is retired.
Now batting for Chatham, the right fielder from Northwestern.
And a pretty tough spot for Palmer to face in the lineup. And 3-4-5, and especially the man coming to the plate is, man, red hot, maybe more than anyone else in the league.
Jackson Freeman, we talked about him during his first at-bat. He is seeing a beach ball at the plate right now. Second on Chatham with a 959 OPS. Also second on the Cape with 21 hits. First pitch, taken for a called strike. He had a hard line out, 103 miles per hour off the bat. The first baseman, Chris Newstrom, back in the first.
Yeah, that was a play. Newstrom literally just stuck his glove out.
0-1 is another called strike. Freeman doesn't think so. He drops the bat, drops his shoulders, as it was called on the outer third. He'll take a couple of practice swings before digging back in. And left foot all the way back in the batter's box. Palmer back on the bump, first base side. His 0-2 is fouled back straight to the press box down the third base side and over it. The Chatham broadcasters got a good look at that one coming in their living room.
It's rare. I mean, there's not a lot of room for a ball to get over the net and then into that press box.
0-2 breaking ball now coming towards us behind home plate and over our heads.
I have only had a ball come to me in the press box.
Did you make the catch?
We did not make the catch. It fell before. Like, there was no way we were going to make it.
Okay.
But that was at Charles Schwab Field for the Big Ten tournament. It's one of the only places where the press box is high enough to get over the net.
Interesting. Good spot to call some college baseball, no doubt. 0-2, fastball taken outside. Do you like having the conference tournament in the same spot as the College World Series, or do you think that makes it a little less special?
So being from Bloomington, or going to school at Indiana in Bloomington, Indiana, maybe I don't love it being in Omaha, Nebraska, but I can't deny it's pretty awesome. And they do a really good job with it. The kind of sentiment is they treat it as a trial run for the College World Series. So everything they use for the College World Series in terms of hosting the event is what they use for the Big Ten tournament. Just maybe a tenth of the fans, unless Nebraska's playing, of course.
I like that.
Jackson Freeman hasn't had a chance to play there yet. Missed in the Big Ten tournament both of his first 2 seasons at Northwestern.
He waits the 2-2. Here it is, fastball, and pelts it foul third base side once more. 2-2 count, 1 out. Nobody on. Chatham in front, 4-3 in the bottom of the third. There's been runs aplenty already, with already a combined 4 errors in this one as well. 2-2 from Palmer. On the ground, right side, corralled by Newstrom. He's going to step on the bag with the left foot for out number 2.
Awkward play from Newstrom there as he went up charging it. It took an awkward bounce right at the end of the infield grass. These guys haven't played a ton on real grass, real dirt.
University of Georgia, number 2, Daniel Jackson.
2 up, 2 gone for the righty Daniel Jackson. Another star in this Chatham lineup. Rising junior from Georgia. Pitch fouled back to home plate. Jackson spent his first season at Wofford before transferring to Athens. Is a Sandy Springs, Georgia native. the only player with a multi-hit effort last night in the loss to Hart. 4-3 as we go to the fourth, right here on Cape League TV. Back here at beautiful Veterans Field in Chatham, Anglers in front 4-3 over the Commodores as we begin the top of the fourth. Back alongside Ben Haller, I'm Andrew Del Piano. 9-1-2 scheduled to hit for the Commodores. Fourth inning for the starter, Caden Smith, has allowed 6 hits so far, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts.
And again, I hate to keep harping on it, but would be a very different situation right now if Falmouth didn't make those mistakes on the bases, just in terms of pitch count in that second inning.
First pitch to Newstrom taken low in the zone on the breaking ball. Sun has fully set here in Chatham. The lights around the ballpark turned on. 1-0. Breaking ball up above the letters. 2 balls, no strikes. Newstrom singling his first time in the second. Got to second on a wild pitch, then was picked off to get a runner out of scoring position for Falmouth. 2-0. Fastball late on the swing by Newstrom. Comes in at 90 miles per hour from the TCU Horned Frog, who's making his first start of the summer. A 6 ERA through 4 appearances out of the bullpen. Righty on righty. Smith is 2-1. Breaking ball, good looking one, drops in for a called strike. Only 74.
It's just funny to go look in the scorebook, and you got single, E6, and single on the 3 batters who came to bat.
That's impressive stuff. 2-2. Another breaking ball. Newstrom spoils it, fouled on the first base side and out. He's starting to find his footing just a little bit. Went 2 for 4 with a home run on Wednesday in the tie against YD. He's got that nice pink arm sleeve on the right side. Said he got that from teammate Kent Schmidt. Feeling a little lucky, he said, when he last wore it, and he had that home run. 2-2. Fastball spoils it out of the ballpark, first base side.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Smith's ability to keep his velocity up, working into pitch number 68 now coming up. Another fastball at 90 that Newstrom fouled off. 67
pitches for Caden Smith. Here's 68 on the 2-2. Breaking ball just inside. Can't catch it on the inner third. Newstrom readjusts the helmet, readjusts the batting gloves before digging back in. Taps home plate. And ready for the 3-2. Here it is. Breaking ball and popped up, slicing foul out of play. That same spot over there, just over the snack shack.
This is a point of the stadium now where it's kind of hard for a ball to fall harmlessly. I mean, there's so many people here behind home plate, and then once the people end, it's where all the cars are.
It is usually the most attended spot on Cape Cod for this prestigious league. 3-2. A bouncer in the dirt, blocked by Aaron Beatty, but either way, it's ball 4. A leadoff walk for Chris Newstrom. He's reached both times. I mean, just the crowd in front of us, Ben, filled with people. The bleachers stretching out from the first base side to the third base side. And how about the people behind as well here on the promenade? Here's pitching coach Jay Powell out there for a quick conversation with Caden Smith.
They're making the move.
And it's going to be a change. The Chatham Anglers. Change on the mound, timeout on the field. We will take it with them. Anglers still in front 4-3 in the top of the 4th. Runner on first, nobody gone for the Commodores. Looking to take advantage of a new arm on the bump. We'll tell you who it is for Chatham after a short break here on Cape League TV. Welcome back to Veterans Field. New arm out there for Chatham. It's the redshirt rising sophomore from West Virginia. 6 feet, 170 pounds, J.J. Glasscock takes over for Caden Smith. He inherits the runner on first. A solid redshirt freshman season at West Virginia, 12 appearances. Just 6 innings of work, though. Did have 7 strikeouts, so he was very effective. Chatham in front 4-3 in the top of the 4th. Still nobody gone, with Chris Newstrom standing at first after the leadoff walk.
Well, the West Virginia pitching staff was a topic of conversation for us on our pregame show.
First pitch, and it jolts out of the glove of Aaron Beatty, and it's a free 90 feet for Newstrom. There's been plenty of those tonight. The catchers just aren't looking in the whole way, or it just pops out of the glove.
I actually think all of them so far have gone as wild pitches. This one I'd be interested to see. But I do agree with you that those are plays the catcher definitely should make.
Taken outside for ball 2. Here's the righty Carl Schmidt. Reach on an ear back in the second.
It is ruled a wild pitch.
Newstrom at second after that wild pitch in scoring position. Got picked off his last time there. 2-0 to Schmidt. Is a called strike, a slider in there for strike 1.
But that West Virginia pitching staff a conversation because we thought it might be Robbie Porco getting the start for Falmouth. Instead, it was his college teammate and Max Stifler.
2-1. Fastball bounced behind home plate. Nicely blocked by Aaron Beatty. Keeps it in front of him as he jolts out of the catcher's position. Newstrom stays put at second. Hitters count for Carl Schmidt. He's rising up the ranks on the RBI list. He's got 6.
Tough to do when you're a leadoff hitter, too.
3-1. Swung on, fouled. First base side and out. Redshirt sophomore from California. Originally was a Texas A&M Aggie for 1 year before leaving after Jim Schlossnagel left for Texas. 3-2. Breaking ball, Schmidt into right field, down for a base hit. Getting the wave from third is Newstrom. The throw will not be contested. It's an RBI single for Carl Schmidt. And this ball game is tied at 4 once more in the top of the fourth.
Carl Schmidt just keeps hitting, and the second time he's been on now. First time he's really done a good job keeping the ball, or getting the ball to the outfield too, after a ground out in the air. And again, not getting a ton of opportunities with runners in scoring position because he's the leadoff hitter, but he's just taking advantage of them so far. It's RBI number 7 of the year.
First pitch of the lefty, Antonio Morales, he's all over it and pumps it into right field. That's down for a hit as well. Schmidt up to second base, and the train continues to roll for Falmouth. 8 hits so far in that one. Schmidt at second, Morales at first. Still nobody gone in the top of the fourth. Chatham and Falmouth tied at 4. And already a little rude awakening for J.J. Glasscock in his first appearance on Cape Cod.
Yeah, Glasscock's just got to let 2 pitches get away from him a little bit.
Continues the lineup to the 3-hitter Adrian Lopez. Glasscock.
Sack bunt too, one of the most important ones with nobody out, getting the runner, the go-ahead runner at third base now 90 feet away in a sacrifice situation. Changing that from runner on second to runner on third's big with less than 2 outs.
Especially for the guy coming up from the right side in Micah New. 1 for 1 with a single in the third. Runners at second and third, 1 gone. Pitch is a fastball. New launches into right center field. Freeman to the track, to the wall. It is gone! Micah New has done it again. A 3-run home run against the Anglers. And the Commodores are back in front 7-4 in the top of the fourth.
I mean, what Micah New is doing right now is unbelievable. Literally, the mindset you have when he's coming to the plate with a runner on third base, not as if this runner is going to get in, it's how the runner is going to get in. Is it going to be that sac fly again? Is it going to be, a double into the gap? Or it feels like the best guess at this point in the season is his 7th home run of the year. He has been ridiculous.
Falmouth regains that lead with 1 gone, the top of the fourth. Here's the lefty, Kent Schmidt. First pitch is a breaking ball taken outside. And what Micah New is doing right now feels otherworldly. 7 home runs. He now extends his lead by 3 on Cape Cod. 1-0. Fastball bouncer in the dirt, blocked by Aaron Beatty.
I mean, I don't know if 7 home runs in 19 games sounds like a lot, but with these guys adjusting to the wooden bats and playing the best pitchers in the country, let me tell you, it's a lot.
Yeah. 2-0 to Kent Schmidt. The pitch. Breaking ball in there for a called strike on the outer third. And how about this rude awakening to the Cape?
Yeah.
Micah New breaking this one open on J.J. Glasscock. 2-1 count to Schmidt. The pitch is a fastball, and Schmidt ropes it into center field. Ford ranges over to his right and hauls it in for out number 2. With that last home run, Micah New has also tied the league lead for RBIs. Just tied Henry Ford, who that last play just went to.
And also has got himself an RBI today as well. So
first pitch of the lefty, Osterhaus in there for a strike with a slider. So Ford with the league lead of 18 after that sac fly a little bit earlier. 0-1 from the righty. Foul tipped into the mitt for strike 2. Osterhaus digs back in, taps home plate with the end of the baby blue wooden bat. Looks good.
I like it.
0-2. Breaking ball. Osterhaus punches it out to left field. Ranging back is Larson. Couple steps at medium depth, and he makes the play for out number 3. But the damage done in the inning. A 3-run moonshot for Mike Anu. Home run number 7 on Cape Cod. And the Commodores lead 7-4 as we go to the bottom of the 4th here on Cape League TV.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They are ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Introducing Open Cape, the local nonprofit internet service provider in this region. Open Cape's fast and reliable network is 100% fiber optic, providing affordable internet connectivity. To learn more, visit opencape.org and always speak with a live Open Cape representative. Open Cape, providing choice and competition for your home or business and the official internet provider of your Falmouth Commodores.
We are Open Cape.
My name is Kent Schmidt, and I play first base from Georgia Tech, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
Welcome to the bottom of the 4th inning from Veterans Field in Chatham, where the Anglers now down 7-4 to Falmouth after that 4-run top of the 4th inning from the Commodores. Third member of the team and sideline reporter Ryan Martin back for another story where 6, 7, and 8 are due up for the Chatham lineup. It starts with Chase Freilich, the rising sophomore and Auburn catcher. Does more than just catch for the Tigers, though, especially going back to his days at McIntosh High School, where he's a standout baseball player and maybe an even better tennis player. It was Freilich who was ranked as the number 3 tennis player in the country for his birth year of 2005. Now Freilich, you'll see bat here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Andrew, a guy who had some tennis offers, now chose to play SEC baseball at Auburn.
Yeah, it's some special stuff, Ryan. He had over 60 D1 offers to play tennis. Decided, hey, I'm going to go to Auburn and play baseball instead. Here's Leif Palmer back out there. The first offering to Freilich is inside for ball 1. Says he likes to play tennis still in his free time when it's, as he says, a little bit colder down there in Auburn in the fall and the winter. But strictly in the spring, baseball is number 1. 1-0, taken for a called strike right down Main Street. Commodores lead 7-4 in the bottom of the 4th. Freilich a sacrifice fly his first time around. It was his father that got him into it. The pitch. Inside for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. His dad, Jonathan, played collegiate tennis. He was his coach growing up and really just was a natural at the sport. Said he didn't even have to practice much to even be good at it. 2-1, fastball jammed in at the hands. Down the line, third base side. Corralled by Schmidt, across the diamond, in time for out number 1.